What's good, YouTube? It's Big Mind Sports Talk. We back here again with another video. And today's video, we here to talk about some Detroit basketball. Basically, we here to talk about some Pistons, and we here to talk about some Cade mostly, but it's somewhat of the Pistons. And basically, the real reason why I'm making this video is because of I'm seeing a lot of discourse online about can the Pistons be real contenders? Can Cade run? Can Cade Cunningham really win the MVP? And my answer to both of those questions is: do birds fly? Or if another one is the sky blue? Shoot, is water wet? That's what I'm saying, boy. Like, do I think the Pistons are real contenders? Yes. To me, the people that don't think they're real contenders, I mean, no, it's everybody got their opinion. But to me, I just think they don't really look at the Pistons, and it's clearly obvious. You can tell just from how people are talking, like the Pistons surprise of the Pistons. Because one, what I've been saying is the Pistons basically had one of the deepest teams in all the NBA. I've been saying it. It's just they don't have like the faces. You see what I'm saying? They're basically, again, no disrespect to the Pistons players, but they're no names. I'm not saying they're not good or they're not. It's just they don't have the name. You know, most people go off a name. Like, no disrespect, but well, like with Tobias Harris, anytime you usually bring up Tobias Harris, most people automatically assume ass. You see what I'm saying? So, but if you go look at what Tobias Harris has been doing since he's been in Detroit, he's been playing great. Listen, is we don't got a lot of people with no name, so they really don't get talked about. But that's why I'm telling people, like, we got a 13 man. We be running like a 13-man rotation. Uh, so again, like what I've been saying, we've been one of the deepest teams. People are like people shocked like they won without they're winning without Durham and Stewart to them. I'm like, again, they ain't been watching because they've been doing it all year. That's what I'm saying. I just think people ain't been watching the Pistons. Like they've been winning games with multiple people out of the lineups. There been a couple games where Cade been out the lineups and they won. Again, with them games with Cade, it wasn't that best of the teams. It was like the Wizards and the Pacers and them. But again, they still won without him. But yeah, Durham and Beef Stew, Tobias Harris, Asari, they all been in and out the lineup, boy. So them winning with them is nothing new. That's why I said people ain't been watching the Pistons. And also this narrative too. I gotta put an end to this narrative too. Like how people try to act like, oh, the Detroit they lost. I forgot how many games was it? What 28 games in a row to now they're the number one team. Look at all this and now they're this and they're so much better and people trying to come up with all the reasons why they was losing. Shout out to like Legend of Winning. I heard them talking about it was the coaching and injuries fault. The coaching did have something to do with it, but injuries, no. Again, what I used to call it is, and what I call it is, it's the Detroit curse. Again, it may sound crazy, but this is what the Detroit curse is to me is you always find a way to lose the game. Uh, that's what mostly happened with the Pistons during that losing streak. It wasn't because they was had a super bad roster. Again, they had a bad roster. I'm not faulting them. Again, was Monty Williams putting in crazy BS lineups? Yes, he was. But were a lot of them games close during the end? Yes. It's just the Pistons always found a way to lose. So like this notion like they was injured and they couldn't do this and this. No, it's just found a way to lose. It's the Detroit curse. It's the same thing with the Lions. Every time, like with Matthew Stafford, again, I know this is a basketball video, but with football, like with Matthew Stafford and the Pistons, I mean with Matthew Stafford and the Lions. If you look at Matthew Stafford, he led the most like fourth quarter comebacks, but a lot of those comebacks he could have had more, but he'll lead the team into a comeback with the last 2 minutes. It'd be like 45 seconds left on the clock, and the other team somehow finds a way to come back and win the game. That's why I say the Detroit curse is just you always find a way to lose. And that's what happened with the Pistons. Like if you go look at the rosters, I don't got the numbers 100% fact, but I guarantee you if you look them up within the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes within those games, it was all single digit games, and I guarantee you 60% of those games to 50%, the Pistons was winning, but we somehow lost. That's why I said it's the Detroit curse, boy. Uh, the only difference from the team back then to now is obviously the players that still was on the team got better, but they're just winning the games now. That's all it is. Before, a lot of those games, if it was a tough game going down with 3 minutes left, we would have lost. Now we're starting to win those games. That's literally the only difference that's happening. It's just Cade now figured it out how to win those games and everybody else. And while we also talking about Cade, it's also funny now people are starting to open their eyes and see Cade is better than Brunson and Luca, or what people are starting to argue that. And my thing is, I've been saying he was better than Brunson. Luca, I've been saying from around the towards like after the first couple months. And my whole thing with that is people be trying to, I ain't gonna say gas their offensive abilities, but they're great offensive players. I agree they're better than Luca. I mean, I agree that they're better than Cade. But people be trying to gas it like Cade is like some bum score. My thing is, I think if Cade main thing was to score, he could easily score, boy. But his thing is more to he got to score somewhat and get players involved too. But people acting like Luca is this ginormous better scorer than him. Again, I think he's better, but it's he's better than. But like, let's calm it down, boy. People be acting like Cade. I told you, like Cade, a 20 point per game score, dog. It's not it's not that far off, boy. My thing is this: we can guarantee that between Luca and Jalen Brunson, Cade's closer to them in scoring than both of them are to Cade in defense. Like Cade basically better than them in almost every, basically both of them in almost everything besides scoring. And then Luca, you can have an argument about playmaking. And to me, I think Cade a better playmaker because a lot of Luca's assists be grenades, boy. They see the lobs or grenades. So again, I think he's a better playmaker. So the only thing that they really got on Cade is just that they can score, and it's not by that much. That's why I always said Cade was the better scorer. I mean, not the better scorer. Cade was always the better player than both of them. But that is more about the Pistons winning is that Cade is going to get the MVP. Because I think he deserved it. I think it's crazy now that people starting to finally open their eyes about that again, boy. Because for the longest, didn't nobody have him as an MVP, which is crazy. My whole thing with the MVP thing is I'm glad he's getting it, but this should also show again that the MVP, how they vote for it, is so wishy washy. Again, one year being the best player is the reason why you win it. Next year is all about team success. Next year is about a historical season. Next year, so it's all this. It's like we have a different criteria every year, but again, but any criteria you want, Cade should be up there for MVP. I've been saying it again though, but yes, shout out to that boy Cade. And question of the day is: are y'all hyping on the Pistons hype train too, or was y'all already on it? Put in the comments what y'all think. Make sure you like and subscribe, and peace.